Hey, beautiful people and everyone watching on a replay, which most of you probably will do, whoever sees this video, because I didn't tell anyone about this live. If you do, jump on, find the chat box on the side, or if you're on your phone, down below, say hello in the chat box. This is just a random, impulsive kind of, I need to finish a painting and I felt like just jumping on live. So that is what we're doing on my channel this evening. I am literally just back from a run. Went for a run by the river in London. So that's why I'm in these sporty clothes, but ignore that because today we're going to be talking about water reflections. And I'm going to put a new layer on this painting because it doesn't really look finished to me. I made this a long time ago and then I decided to fix it up so that I can put it up for sale. Yes. Again, if you're watching, say hello. And let's see. The paints that I'm using today are these ones, Winsor & Newton. There is a link to these in the description box. I'm using different sorts of brushes. These ones are also on my website. If you want to check this one, there is again a link in the description. Sorry about my messy hair and whatnot. Ignore that. Okay, so what we are doing is I'm gonna put another layer on this little painting over here. I think I might actually put this box down so you can see it a bit clearer once I turn it a little bit. So I'm gonna put this one down here. And now you can see it a little bit better. There we go. Here we are. This is my little phoenix bird. He's hanging from my light. That one I made out of paper mache. Was that last week, I think? Yeah, last week I painted that one. But now we're gonna work on this one and add a little bit more paint to it. I'm just trying to find a nice angle for you guys so you can see what I'm doing. Guess that's a little bit close. Should we put the box back maybe? Then you can see it from a little bit. Sorry guys, I keep moving this around. As I said, this is nothing that I planned. I just kind of jumped on because I wanted to finish this painting and I thought, why not do it together with you guys? Yes, I think this is better. I put a little big box here underneath the laptop to get a better angle. There we go. Now you can see this clearly, I hope. So I quite like these light colors and the contrast with the dark. What I don't like about this is the black parts look quite messy. The waves are not really done properly. It's just kind of made in a rush. And I don't like how the stars turned out. To me, that looks a little bit messy. So I'm going to be fixing this up and then painting a new water reflection afterwards. So what we're going to start with is adding a layer to the sky so I can let it dry and then add the stars again. Hi there, my friend. Thank you for joining. You're saying great review. Review, do you mean angle or how are you today anyways? Thank you for joining in. I've seen you quite often on my channel lately and it's nice to see you returning again. You can see I have my little friend over here as well. He's staying on my desk to keep me inspired and remind me of to just do my own thing and don't worry too much about others' opinions. And kind of just enjoy your own process of painting and getting creative. And yes, that is something that Pablo Picasso reminds me of. I like his striped jumper as well. Looks kind of Scandinavian. Yeah. Anyways, let's get some paint out. So let's see, I'm gonna use, to get that shade will be a bit tricky. I think I'm gonna use this lighter blue. How are you today? Have you been painting or doing something creative? And then I'm gonna add some of this yellow and see what shades I get out of this. I'm gonna add some darker blue. There, so start with covering the sky. And also mixing shades. I think I use this brush for mixing these two a little bit. Let's see what comes out of it. This one is quite green. Adding all of it. Also gonna use some white for this. I quite like mixing shades. It's a fun process. So I'm gonna leave some of it a bit darker and make some a bit lighter. There we go. And then the lightest will be closer here towards the horizon. So let's start with the middle tone of the sky, which will be roughly this color over here. Quite like that shade. So I'm gonna cover all of the stars and add a new layer, and then eventually I'll add the stars back again. I quite like the trees and I like the design of the painting. I just don't really like how it all turned out in the end. So I'm gonna add a little bit more of color and a new layer to this painting. I'm gonna gradually go darker as I go up towards the top of the painting. So I'm adding a little bit darker blue towards here, mixing it in, and just trying to make a natural blend into the other colors. You can see 5 people are on. Do say hello in the chat box. Let me know how you're doing and if you've been painting or doing anything creative. How's your day been, your week been so far? I am also gonna add some black to the top. But first, let's blend in some more blue. I quite like this blue, you know. I think I use blue in paintings. So that's the first color I always run out of. And then take a different brush, add a little bit more yellow. And make it lighter towards the horizon. Have you guys been working today or chilling, painting? How's your day been so far? And if you're watching on a replay, let me know if you found this tutorial helpful. And if we're not yet connected, do also find me on Instagram with LDN Art Nanny. There. Now the next part with this kind of blue, blending it in a little bit. I'm not too bothered about if I cover the trees or not, since I will be adding a new layer to them as well. So I'll fix that line afterwards. And now gradually adding a little bit more blue to this. And there we go. And I like to move quite quickly with these colors because they do tend to dry quite fast because it's acrylic, it's not oil. You got more time when you're using oil colors or oil paint. But with acrylics, you have to move quite quickly if you want the colors to blend in. The positive side of it is that it doesn't take, you don't have to wait ages before you can put a new layer. So there's good and bad with everything. There we go. I'm gonna cover all of those bits and pieces here around the tree. Five people are still on. If you're here, say hello. Tell me about your channel if you're running a channel. There, let's blend a little bit more darker blue here. There we go. Quite like this turquoise, yellowish kind of shade. And sometimes I add a tiny bit of water to blend it in. If it starts drying and you want to blend it a bit more, you can damp the paint a little bit before it's completely dry. And you can also use a different brush that doesn't have paint in it yet, if you want to smudge it out a bit. Okay, I'm nearly covering the whole tree now, which is fine. So I'll add it afterwards. Very good blending. I love it. Thank you. What's your favorite type of creativity or painting? What types do you mainly do? I'm adding black. I'm also gonna be adding black all around this, on the outside of the painting, on the canvas, because I don't like the white edges on the dark painting. There. So why don't we do that now while that one is drying a bit? I'm gonna add black to these sides. Because the painting continues all the way around the edges. This will be seen when it's hanging on the wall as well. So remember to keep these edges clean. If you don't want any paint on them, you can cover it in painter's tape, or you can make it part of the painting. You can continue your painting all the way till the edges. But I'm gonna paint mine black, as this is quite a dark painting. Gives it a bit of a more cleaner look. Kmale, do I say that right? Kmale, do you sell your artworks or do you mainly paint as a hobby? What is your occupation in life? What do you work with? I'm always curious to get to know you guys better. So let me know what you're up to. There we go. So now I covered those ones in black. Put that down to dry. And now let's see if this one has dried enough. I think we can add a layer to this part. So to be a reflection from, do I have the right color now? Keep forgetting which brush I use for what color. I think this one was a bit darker, but never mind. I'll add a tiny bit of yellow just towards the edge, like that. Now I will add some of the same shades here to the water reflection. So let's take some of this color and add it closest to here. And then slowly again make it darker as you move further away. Or closer to you, if you may. There. I think I need to get some more of that darker blue. And just cover that underpainting. And slowly blend it in towards. Now I'm getting a bit of black from the sides, never mind. That's fine. Blends in fine. Let's take some more paint. So we have the dark blue. You said it right, I just paint for fun, but sometimes I paint for my friend requests. Okay, that's fun. What kind of requests do your friends send in? And what kind of things do you enjoy painting most? I love painting seascapes and galaxy paintings. What else did I love painting? Forests and trees as well, I like painting. I'm just gonna blend this in a bit. And whenever you're doing a painting, if it doesn't turn out the way you would have liked it to turn out, don't give up too easily. You can always add a layer like I did to this painting. And keep working on it until you feel happy with it. You're saying I only do landscape painting. I'm really bad at portraits. I'm not that good at portraits either, but it's fun to try here and there and kind of just build on that skill. If you see that painting over here, that's me painting some sort of a portrait. I'm not great at it, but it's fun to play with colors and kind of. I feel like you learn something every time you paint. So even if it doesn't turn out exactly the way you thought, you still learn something from it, and it's still fun to play with colors. So okay. That's some sort of a blend. Let's see. I think I'll add a little bit more of the light blue and the yellow. Do I remember right? Are you from India? Please correct me if I'm wrong. I have quite a lot of viewers from India. I think are you quite artistic and crafty? A lot of the Indian people that are joining the channel are very crafty and very creative. I love that. I think I need to take some more white. I got some white in here from earlier. I'll use some of that. Let's see if I can get a lighter shade of the same turquoise. Something like that, maybe? Yeah, that's fine. Sorry, I go a bit quiet sometimes when I focus and paint. I do keep an eye on the chat if anyone comes on. But this wasn't a planned live, it was just me jumping on, so didn't really expect anyone to jump on. But nice to see you here. Still getting some of that black from the sides. There we go. I think that part is quite well covered now. Let's take a different brush for the darker colors and add a little bit more dark down here to get some contrast. Spread it with some water, blend it in. This is what I could do for literally hours and hours. Just add layers and play with colors and mix shades. I don't know why that is so satisfying. Not sure if you can relate. Okay, that is quite fine, I think. The thing with this painting is it's been on my shelves and I've been looking at it for such a long time thinking, oh, I need to repaint that. I need to add another layer. So now that I'm doing it finally, I really do want to make it in a way that I'll be happy with it, so it won't bother me again. Let me just pull up this sleeve because I always get paint on my clothes. Yeah, so now let's try to make it in a way that it won't bother me when I look at it. Do you ever have that with your paintings? You hang it on the wall, and then when you start looking at it afterwards, there's some small details that you aren't that happy with. So let's make that line really clear like that. Like this black was a bit transparent, and I was rushing too much to cover it the first time I painted it, and then I just left it for like, I think, a year or so, maybe even longer. There's a tutorial from the first version of this painting, so I guess that was like 1.5 years ago or so. But yeah, now I finally decided to finish it off so I can put it up on my website and sell it. So now I'm painting this little, what you call it, maybe an island or something like that, as the reflection will divide the sky from the sea. Yes, I'm liking this more already. It's already looking better than when I started. Let's turn it a bit. I'm gonna need to be careful because I painted the sides. There. I really like how the sky turned out and the colors of the sky. These paints dry quite quickly. I guess it's because it's summer as well, so the air is not as humid as winter time. And it's a bit warmer. It's not super warm in London though. It was warmer before, but now it's gone back to a little bit colder. Can I say, flying brushes? Jason, thank you for joining us today. Jason is saying, love this, so talented. Can you define what talented means? What do people mean when they say someone is talented? And would you say that you yourself, are you talented in something specific? Are you passionate about something specific? Now let's see, I'm gonna continue working on this dark side now. Maybe add some grass up here. These brushes are actually for face painting. I bought them because I really love the fine tip. And something that I always do, I'm not very talented. I'm not very talented in washing my brushes after I paint. That's something that's a talent that I need to learn, a skill that I need to learn, is to wash my brushes after I painted, because I always leave them too long in my water cup, and then the tip starts bending, and then it's not a fine tip anymore, and then it spoils your paintings. So don't do what I do. It's much better to wash your brushes straight away once you finish painting, so that you don't ruin your fine tip brushes. That literally always happens. I don't know how many I've gone through. So now, just adding a little bit of grass here and there. I've been quite into details lately. So I paint a lot of like small details. I go through different phases. Sometimes I just love painting like big splashy things. Other times I like focusing on smaller details. Let's see. Jason didn't reply. I'm not sure if he's here anymore. Jason, did you leave already? Okay, I'm gonna work on this tree a little bit more. Make some more branches. And then I will add some stars, possibly the moon. What do you think? Shall I add the moon to this painting? Okay, let's see. Let's do something on this other side as well. Just hope I don't smudge that with my hand. Trying to keep it from touching the surface. Normally I would let it dry a bit in between, but as we're live, I'm just gonna try to not touch it with my arm. Caleb's Amazing Adventures is in the house. Hey, Caleb. He's saying, beautiful, Charlotta. Letting this play whilst I'm washing Caleb's hair, so won't be able to type. Thank you for joining, Simone. And have fun washing Caleb's hair. How long does it take? I know you're not typing now. I'll ask you later once you finish washing his hair. Thank you for jumping on, even though you're washing and doing other stuff. If you haven't seen Caleb's channel yet, go and check it out. And then you'll understand why Simone is taking her time washing his hair. He's got gorgeous, gorgeous, beautiful hairs. She's saying, oh my God, it takes 45 minutes to brush through. You put a lot of effort into that beauty, don't you? Okay, so she's saying just bath Micah and Caleb wetting it now. Okay. Enjoy, and thank you for jumping on even though you're doing other stuff. I'm working on an old painting that I started a long time ago and now I wanted to fix it. So that's what's going on here in my art studio today. I said earlier that this is a painting that's been bothering me for a long time. It's been on my shelf and I never really fully completed it. There's just some things about this painting that I didn't like. Like the black was a bit transparent and I didn't add a second layer. So now I've decided to finish this off so I can put it up on my website. I keep forgetting what day it is today. Wednesday. I feel like the days are just kind of blending into each other. But it's been a nice day. I don't know about you. Oh, sorry, excuse me. Okay, see you next time. Thank you for joining. Have a lovely day or evening if it's evening where you are. See you soon again. Thank you so much for coming on. I'm gonna add some more details to this part. And then eventually I'll add the water reflection. I'm just letting the water dry for a bit. I think I should do something interesting here. Just not sure what. Maybe I could make those poles again. In the original one, I had some poles going up from this side. So I might just add that. There was 2 poles here in the middle, like this. You can see it just a tiny bit through that paint layer. So I'll just add that. And then a little bit more grass here on the other side as well. I'm gonna just move the brush a bit so I get a finer tip. Did you see how I rolled that around? So I don't have too much paint, and then you get this finer edge to the brush. There. Joni, she is on again. Thank you so much for coming on. Joni is saying, loving this. Way to go, girl. Thank you so much. This is a painting that I started a long time ago, and then I kept it on my shelf, and it's always bothered me because the layers were a bit transparent, and I wasn't really happy with how it turned out. So it's been there in the background, and I always wanted to finish it. So now, so I can put it up on my website, I'm taking the time to add the last little details, and I added another layer of paint on top of it now to kind of, yeah, so we'll cover all of that. You know, sometimes when you only put one paint layer and the canvas is transparent, just looks really rubbish, and then I never really finish it off. So now I'm finally taking the time to finish this. You see how messy my hands are getting? Anyways, how are you, Joni, today? What have you been up to? I've seen your lovely, lovely paintings again. And I saw you painting the china, which was gorgeous. Then I saw on your Instagram a whole collection, but I'm not sure if that was your collection or if it was something that you've seen somewhere. Seems like a collector's china that you had. Such a fun idea to paint them as well. Okay, I think that's enough. Enough with the grass. And then I could, if I had like, so you see in one video I posted about 1 point perspective. So if the 1 point perspective was roughly around here, then these poles would go in a line like that, making this one around. This is tricky. Okay, if the point is there, then these ones are going roughly around here. Oh gosh, I hope I don't mess this up again. That would be so annoying. Here, and then roughly around here. like that. Let's make this a bit wider. And something that I need to learn in my paintings is to give the paint a little bit more freedom. I am quite into making these controlled lines lately. So that's way too wide. Oh boy, let's see if I can rub it off. I think I won't be able to do that. Maybe I need to cover it with some of that blue. I'll try it that way instead. There we go. I fixed that line a bit. These paints dry way too quickly. I think I need to start. I think next time I order more paint, I'm gonna get more oil paints. Even if you have to wait a bit longer for them to dry, at least you have more time to work with them when you're working on something specific. Okay, that's fine. There. And then the last one, if the point is over here, we go down, 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 and then it will start over here and go straight down to get that 1 point perspective angle to it. Now that's not straight. Let's try again. That's better. Charlotta is getting there. So you see that should be like the top of that little pole and then going straight down like that. Might leave that in a lighter color. And then straight down like that. And color it in. Okay, I'm gonna add some gray to the top, so I'm just gonna blend in a tiny bit of white in this, and also here, and there. Okay. Again, I'm trying to make the tip a bit more fine by rolling it around on the palette, like that. I'm not super excited about this part over here. So I'm gonna cover it with this brush that I use for the dark blue. So the thing with water is the same as with clouds. You can continue adding layers and layers and work on the waves and whatnot for ages. Because it's like abstract painting, there's not really any like defined lines to it. And these ones are a bit more concrete since it's just meant to be like posed next to this, what do you call it, pier. There. Now I think the sky should be dry enough to paint some stars on it. But first, let's see if this one. I can get the same shade roughly. It's way too light. Now I have a lot of paint inside this brush. So what you can do when you mix colors is you can use a palette knife. Otherwise you get all of the colors inside the brush and then it might give a different kind of shade when you move it around. Might peek through. Let's take some of that, mix it in. See how much paint I have in the brush? That's a lot. So once I get all of the paintings uploaded to the website, I'll share that link with you guys as well. For now, I'm just working on completing the paintings so I can add them on there. Adding a bit of water so it's easier to blend it in naturally. Now I hope there won't be any kind of transparent parts that will bother me on the shelf again. That would be annoying, right? So none of those kind of square things that is like patterned from the canvas. That's the parts that really annoys me when I look at a painting afterwards. Trying to just blend that out completely. A smaller brush would be helpful to get this line over here. Use it all these small details that makes it look nicer. There we go. So next part will be to add the stars to the sky. Now I'm gonna do something that I've seen on Johnny Young's channel, is that she adds a lighter layer with like thinned out paint, and then she adds proper thicker paint to paint the white stars on top, and it looks quite nice. So what I mean is, first make these kind of circles, and this is like watered out paint, so it will be a bit lighter in color. Not lighter, but like transparent. A little bit of sparkles and stars make everything a little bit more magical. I'm putting some yellow into this shade as well, so it looks nice afterwards. It's like a yellow kind of shine to the stars. Just spreading it out a bit to make bigger circles, and on top of these circles I'll paint the stars. It's nice to make different shades as well. So some are smaller, some are bigger. Okay, these ones are gonna dry, and then I'm gonna add another layer with thicker paint on top of it. Gonna see that in a minute. But now let's put, maybe we need to make some white in this water as well. So just add a little bit of waves to this one with white. And again, I like to blend it out with some water to make it a bit more transparent. Not too much, just a tiny bit, like that, here and there. This is something that I could literally do for hours and hours. It's just kind of making these patterns of white into the water. It's just fun to play around with. Think of it as the movement of the water. And I've watered out the paints to get it a bit more transparent. I think I need to add some blue to that. Shade it out a little bit. I know I get very quiet sometimes when I do these paintings, so if you're around and you're in the mood for chatting, do let me know in the chat box. How's that looking? Maybe a little bit too much white, but no damage done. You can always add some more shades to it. Now this kind of water reflections and movements to the water. And just take your time with enjoying the process and see how it turns out. Quite like the contrast from the dark and the light. I think I'll leave that like that, and then I'll add some to the other side. Let this dry for a bit. So I'm gonna add some of that water movement down here as well. And I'm not using any reference pictures or anything, I'm just kind of playing with the colors. I quite like fantasy paintings and that sorts, so I'm not that super into realistic paintings. Kind of just like fairy dust and kind of water movements. I love waterfalls as well. There's something so beautiful about waterfalls. So I'm not really that fussed about if it looks realistic or if it turns more towards the fantasy side. I kind of think that makes it more interesting. Adding a bit of darker shade to behind this wave. Then maybe a little bit of a shade down here. Okay. Only 20 minutes due to his hair today. Yeah. Oh, you were quick today. Well done, Simone. Simone and Caleb, are you team working? Well done, well done. I bet it feels nice for him as well to have fresh washed and brushed out hair, doesn't it? Simone, do you ever paint the sea since you live by the sea yourself? I would love to see some artistic expressions coming from your side. I like this part over here. I like how this part turned out, so I think I'm gonna try to make similar ones on this other side as well. Victor 10BG, hello. Thank you for joining. How are you today? From where in the world are you joining? Oh my goodness, now I'm splashing water on this tree. Yeah, I'm gonna try to make similar ones to that one because I think that looks quite mystical and magical, and I'm all about that. Fantasy paintings and whatnot, so let's see if we can get some magic into this water. Can you do tutorial with crayons? Victor, I do a lot of different types of arts. I have a lot of crayons as well. I have pencils, I have a lot of Sharpies, markers, all sorts of things. I've been working more with acrylic paints now, these ones that I've also linked below. If anyone is interested in using these same ones, I do recommend them. I haven't been doing any crayon art on this channel. It's more what I use with the little ones in my art classes. I guess I could try it out at some point. Are you into that sort of art yourself? Crayon art? I really like how it turned out on this side. I'm not sure if I can make it exactly the same. Can you see? It's like very faint. It blends in really nicely. I think I'm gonna have to take some of that turquoise as well to make that blend in. Okay, do you have Copic markers? Let me show you what kind of markers. I have those Sharpies over there, and then I have, where are they? This type of markers. Do you know these ones? So these are fine tipped and thicker tips on that side. And then I do a lot of like Zentangle and black and white drawings as well. You've seen a live not long ago. I made, where is it? This type of drawings, that's with markers and fine tips. So I do all sorts of paintings, really. All sorts of tutorials. I also do t-shirt printings lately. That's my last video. If you haven't seen it yet, do check it out. So one of the kids that take part of my art classes, he turned 3 years old. He's been taking part of my sessions since he was 1. So I wanted to do something special for his birthday, and I printed a t-shirt out of his drawing. So that's the last video that I've posted on the channel. If anyone is curious to see how that turned out, do check out my last video. He was so happy when he saw that t-shirt. So it was definitely worth it to get it done for him, as he was so happy with it himself. Okay, I'm trying to blend this white in a little bit with the same kind of turquoise color to see if it can go a little bit more like a natural blend into it like that. Oh, you can't really see now. When was his birthday? Was yesterday. Victor is saying they are alcohol based. They blend a lot. That's true. Yes. Yeah. So yeah, his birthday was yesterday. So I gave it to him when I saw him on Monday at his art session, and he was super pleased. I filmed when he opened the package and when he wanted to try it on, and it was super sweet. Where are you from, Victor? Where are you joining us from? Are you part of the channel already, or are you new to my content? Trying to get some sort of movement over here to get this Okay, I think that is looking fairly okay. I think I'm gonna add some more blue to this one. You're from England, okay. I'm in England too, I'm in London. As you can hear from my accent, I'm not born here. I'm from Finland originally, but I lived in London for 8.5 years now. Time passes super quickly in this city, I would say. I guess it's also because life is so busy. Life gets busy easily in a bigger city, so it feels like those 8 years really flew by. But come to think of it, a lot happened during those 8.5 years as well. So from that perspective, Caleb is saying, still here, we're just drying his hair with the hairdryer. Okay, thank you for still being on. Caleb, did you do any painting lately? I know you can't chat right now because you're drying his hair, so don't worry. I won't ask too many questions right now, just letting you do your thing while I do mine. So I'm kind of just adding more layers again, making it blend in a little bit more naturally. I like when there's like this sort of patterns on a painting. It gives the eye something to figure out while you look at it. I think art in general is so interesting. And like how you can create something out of nothing just with a little bit of shade and color. And I love this sort of painting with no pressure, just having fun with the colors. I think this one could have a little bit of a splash in it, maybe. I'm not born in England. I came here last year. Everyone says I have a perfect accent, and my friends say I'm really good at drawing. That's good, but keep in mind, even if your friends said that you are terrible at drawing, it doesn't matter. It's all about how you look at my messy hand. It's all about how you feel about when you are drawing. So don't rely on other people's opinions about your artworks or whatever you draw, or yeah, do what you feel is fun and let people think whatever they want to. It's my opinion. I'm not really that bothered if people like what I do or not, because I'm not doing it for people to like it. I'm doing it because I love it. I love painting. So keep doing your artwork and do it for you, and let whatever you want to express come out, no matter what your friends say. Victor is saying, I feel good and I like my drawing characters from my favorite game. What's your favorite game, Victor? I was doing art with one of my artists online. He's joining in from Dubai, and he said that he also really likes painting and drawing characters from a Star Wars game. So, oh, Fortnite, okay. A lot of my art kids do like Fortnite as well. I haven't played it myself, but I've heard about it from them. So yeah, that's a very popular one. They always want to draw characters from Fortnite. Now I'm creating a little bit of splash in the water while I was talking. So just kind of adding thick white. It's not blended out with water at all, like I did with the little movements in the water. I'm just adding thick white paint and just going a little bit like this up and down to create this kind of splash movement, as if there's a little wave going on over here. So Victor, how did you come across this channel? You said you're new to here. So did YouTube recommend it, or did you find me through a comment somewhere on someone else's channel? So it's interesting to see how people find their way to my tiny little channel. I don't have that big of an audience, but I'm just sharing what I like doing and hope someone will get inspired by it. Now I'm adding a little bit more. Oh, you search for live drawings. Okay, that's a good idea. I need to do that sometimes as well when I'm looking for new channels. Yeah, sometimes I do live drawings, but today I'm doing painting. What do you think about those splashes? How did that turn out? Now the next thing that I will be doing is adding the stars to these circles on the sky. So on the small ones, I just put a tiny little white dot in the middle to make them stand up a bit more. So first I made a darker circle and now I'm adding the white to it. Victor is saying, you say you know people that draw Fortnite characters and your painting is beautiful. Yes, I do. I mean, like they are the kids in my art classes that like drawing Fortnite characters. I am not familiar to it myself. And the boy that took part of my art class earlier today, he likes Star Wars games and he likes painting and drawing things out of Star Wars. Can you send them my link? I will drop it in a bit. You can, if you put links in the live chat, it's usually, YouTube usually deletes them. But if you want, you could send it in the comment section underneath this live stream. And they can look at it if they want to. I can share it with them for sure. And check out. So do you do a lot of like videos about drawing Fortnite characters? Caleb's Amazing Adventure says, he said your painting looks good and he hasn't recently painted, but he will come on the class if you are on this Saturday. I am doing my usual Saturday art class at 2 p.m. BST. So yes, Caleb, if you're up for it, do join that class and let's see what we get up to. I would love for you to be there. Now I went back to painting those splashes, even though I was meant to go further on this sky over here. So let's take, maybe this brush is a little bit too thick. Let's find that fine brush, clean it out because it has black in it, going from black to white. Okay, so you paint out of Fortnite and draw out of Fortnite. I'll check it out afterwards. Put your link on in the comment section. Because if you put it here, I think it will be blocked by YouTube. YouTube has a lot of annoying rules, don't they? But hey, we'll make the most of what we're given. So to paint a star, I simply make fine lines like this. And then, so now it's just a cross. And then I'll add 2 more. Actually 4 more in between, just a bit shorter. Now I'm blending in a tiny bit of water so I can make that line blend in a little bit more to make it a bit more natural. Okay, Victor is saying I do Fortnite. Not drawing, okay, is montage. I think they will like it. Okay, how old are you, Victor, if you don't mind me asking? Okay, that is my first bigger star. Don't want to make it too big though. Then I'm gonna make this little line in between like that to make it look even more shiny. I am not completely happy with this star yet, so I'm gonna work a bit more on it. Blending in the middle part a bit more. How about that? There is a big star. Victor is saying, I am 10. I'm pro at doing montages. Okay. I'm gonna put the link at your son's birthday. Oh, he's not my son. He is a boy that takes part of my art classes in London. But yeah, put your link on there and then I'll go and check it out. This is a massive star. It's just getting bigger and bigger now. I think you might like Caleb's channel then, Victor. Because Caleb, how old are you now? Are you 8? You should go and check out Caleb's channel. It's roughly your age. And he might like your channel as well. Okay, now I'm just getting too excited about this star. It's just stretching longer and longer. Looks like a UFO is about to land. So I think I need to stop making that one bigger now. Caleb, if you scroll up, Caleb's Amazing Adventures, that's the name of his channel. He commented earlier before. He's the one who was washing his hair and drying it. He does a lot of different videos about things that he get up to. And he does paintings as well sometimes. So you might like his channel. Now I'm gonna make one other star over here and make it a bit smaller. At least that's the thought, but if I get carried away again, then it's gonna be a big one. I've got a nephew called Victor in Sweden, but he's a lot younger than you. Okay. It's getting even more and more like a fantasy painting now, more that I add stars to it. I'm not sure. I think if I add the moon, it's gonna be a little bit too much for the sky, isn't it? Caleb is saying, yes, it's called Caleb's Amazing Adventures. He said he will be there. Okay, awesome. I think I should add some reflections from these stars down on the water as well, as the name of this stream is water reflections. I'm gonna add some more water reflections. Just added a few more dots onto the sky. Yeah, you guys should join each other since you're roughly the same age. Maybe you can do some sort of collaborations. How is it, Victor, for you? Did your school open or are you still in lockdown? Are you still staying home? I know some schools open. And now, Victor, YouTube was hiding your show. It's giving me the... Okay, did it show now? Okay. So Victor is asking if you would join his channel. Well, it's not a perfect painting, but it's way better than it was before I started today. So at least that. Saying school, okay. I guess your summer holiday would start soon anyway, so. I'm adding a bit more lines to these poles. Maybe I should add like a ribbon going in between these ones as well. Victor is saying it's perfect painting and the stream is lagging. Thank you so much for being here. I didn't promote this live anywhere. Sometimes I promote it all over social media and I have more people joining, but today I kind of just jumped on without telling people, so didn't really expect anyone to be here, but fun that you found it still. I'm just adding a little bit more of black to the parts that are shining through. Now that it dried, you can see it more clearly. Now, question is, shall I risk it to add the water reflection from the trees into the water, or do you think that would spoil the picture? I think I'll add a little rope from these poles. That could be quite fun. I could make it in gray, maybe. Let's see if I have enough black here, if I need to add a bit more. I think I'll start with this one, is fine. So I'll add a rope in between just here. There. And then if it's tied up over here, then it's gonna make another little loop going down from here. Roughly like that. Now I'll make it a bit wider to get perspective to it, so it's bigger towards the end. There. And then he will continue from here to up here. Now it's going to be a little bit finer. And the last one goes all the way up here. Like that. It's a little bit of a safety line. That looks quite cool, doesn't it? So now I'll add a little bit more shades to that one. Can you put more stars, like 3 or 4? That's a good idea, Victor. Maybe I'll do that. Let's see. I'm gonna work on this rope for a little bit and see how I feel about that. Maybe I could make a smaller one because those two are quite big already. Maybe there could be like some down here. But now I'm gonna put some shading to this rope. Caleb's Amazing Adventure says it's looking great. Thank you so much. I'm gonna add some shadings to this to make it look a little bit more interesting. Darker shade of gray down here. I think this brush has a finer tip even though it's thicker in the end. There. We'll make a few lines to make it look like a real rope. I like that this live came up from the search. It's always fun to hear how people find this channel. Okay, that is some details on that one. Okay, as you requested, Victor, I'm gonna add another star on the sky. Just need to clean up the black again from this brush. And get some white. Add some smaller ones down here. And then we can make one of those bigger ones right here. There. Now, I could work on this forever and ever, all the day. That's the thing with painting. You can go on forever, or you can just decide now it's finished. I think I'm gonna add a little bit more details to this though. As I do really enjoy, I love painting and creating and doing all sorts of creative stuff. It's just sometimes you have to decide when it's done so you don't overdo it. It's easy to destroy your artworks as well if you overdo it. But I'm definitely more happy with this than how it looked before. Just adding a little bit more reflections of the white to the water. I think I need to add some stars to the water as well. Smudge that out a bit. I could paint for hours and hours. It's just quite fun when you add white to water, how it starts to look more realistic straight away. I should really be adding some shades from the trees. Oh, sorry, you can't see it right now. Should be adding some shades from the trees to the water as well. I should do that, you know. Shall I do that now and see if I destroy it or not? I'm a bit scared of that part. add some stars down here. This is turning out to be more and more like a fantasy painting with those big stars. This star over here is vibrating its light. I actually quite like that. I'm going to add it to the other ones as well. And it's becoming more and more fantasy-like compared to how it was before. Neil Art Studios. Hi, you are joining from India. It's quite late in India now, isn't it? If I remember correct time in London, so in London it's now 8:38. But I think for you guys it should be in the middle of the night. Am I right? I am talking about adding the reflections from these trees into the water, but I'm kind of afraid of that step because I don't really want to spoil the painting. So doing that feels like taking a little bit of a risk. But if I don't do it, then there is no proper water reflection. So I kind of have to risk it, don't I? India time is 1 a.m. That's what I thought. It is late where you are. Have you been painting or what's keeping you up late at night? Not that it's none of my business. Just keeping conversation. Okay, I think the rope should be finished like that. I think I'm just kind of carrying on with everything else, avoiding the part that I'm most afraid of. I'm gaining courage here while I work at these other details. Okay. Neil is saying beautiful painting. Thank you so much. I was working on this painting that I started a long time ago, and now I added a second layer to it to kind of finalize it. So now I'm gonna take a leap of faith and see if I can create water reflections from these trees. It makes me a bit nervous. But hey, wish me luck. So if the tree goes down to the water, it will come down around here. And it will be a bit like wavy like that. Hold on, so if the tree comes from here. And then I need to make the bigger part. Oh my gosh, I'm so scared. It's making me itch. I really don't want to spoil this painting. Okay, I'm just gonna do it here. So reflections, I'm trying to bear in mind that the lines will be smudged out a little bit with the waves. Can I just leave it like that? Does that make sense? You see the water reflection if I add some white lines to it? Jay! Naughty Jay is in the house. Popped on to say hi. Hey Jay, I'm still on, you know. I've been on for quite a while, but I've been working on this painting. And I'm trying to make this water reflection, and it's making me a bit nervous because I've put so much effort into painting everything else, and I kind of don't want to spoil it. So that's what I've been making a fuss out of right now, just being a bit intimidated by adding black to that water. I think it worked out okay though. I might add some white to put those lines for the water. How are you, Jay, today? How's your evening going? Thank you for coming on. Okay, I'm gonna say that that's the water reflection done on one side. And I'm gonna try it on the other side as well. So maybe if I add a little bit of turquoise, could look quite nice. If I get the right shade to it. Let's see, I'll add some more white, some more yellow, some blue. I just really liked, I really liked the white things that I painted here in the water, so I didn't want to cover that too much. But I think it works quite fine like this, doesn't it? Some sort of a reflection from that tree at least. There. So now I'm gonna do something similar on the other side. So that means that Again, I have to cover these things that I quite liked on this painting, but that's how it is. The reflection is coming from this side. So I will add a little bit of black into here. Make it look like the tree is reflecting into this water. Let's see. So a little bit more black lines to make the stem, and I'm trying to make it the same height as that one. So I'll make some of those wider tree leaves parts down there. So that should make some sort of a reflection from the tree into the water. Jay, I think, let's see, what's Jay saying? Jay's saying hi to Simone. I think you might not really think you're having your own evening with your family, probably, while you still on. If you're on, Jay, let us know how your day's been. Okay. There's the other water reflection. I'm gonna add some more white to that one as well. White and turquoise blue. Jay is saying, I will stay on as long as my battery stats as it's about to die. Oh my goodness, your phone is about to die. That is upsetting news, Jay. What to do when your phone dies? I hope you have a charger close by, because that is annoying when the phone is off. Although it's nice to get a break here and there. I'm personally a little bit too glued to my phone. So. Now I'm just adding a little bit of white and turquoise into the mix of the reflection of the tree. Okay. Victor is saying, I'm getting an iPad and I'm gonna draw on it. Okay, what are you drawing today, Victor? I think I'm gonna start finishing this off now. Maybe that one could be a little bit more smudged out with some turquoise. Let's see if I decide to continue this another time or if I'll be happy with the result this time. Why it's finished, but it's beautiful already. Thank you, Victor. Yeah, I just love painting, really. That's why I could do it for this long. Keep forgetting to put the camera back down once I lifted it. I think that's fairly okay, right? Let's see this part over here. I can see through the camera which parts I'm not that happy with. I'm gonna add some more turquoise there as well. Here, that didn't look too nice. Gonna cover that white a little bit. And blend it in. It's quite nice to paint water reflections, actually. Once you get into it. It looked like a splash. It's beautiful. You don't have to. It looked like a splash. Ah, thank you. You're so encouraging, you know, Victor. I always go back and forth and adding and taking away and kind of playing with it until I get bored and then I just decide that it's finished. So when you add a thin layer of watered out white, it looks a little bit like a reflection on top of the surface. Try to move it a bit sideways. There. So you see, I made the black lines from the trees, and now I'm adding a little bit more reflection on top of it. Yeah, that's exactly what I was doing, Victor. I was adding a little bit more reflection to the bigger tree over here to make it blend in a little bit more. Need to water that out a bit. It's getting too strong now. So my lovelies, that is my tutorial on how to paint a water reflection. I hope this has inspired you in somehow. And I hope that you get something out of watching this video if you are watching on a replay. This is how mine turned out. And yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for being with me and joining me on my channel. If you're new here, I hope that you subscribe to stay tuned for upcoming videos. Here's how this turned out after a little bit more work from today. Thank you again for joining and see you very soon. Thank you, Victor, Jay, Simone, Caleb, Neil, and the rest for being with me today. Okay? Bye, bye, bye. Bye. Carol Way, thank you for sharing talent. Thank you for sharing your talent. Thank you so much for your kind words, Carol. Thank you for watching with me. See you guys soon, okay? Bye.